It is tomorrow and the polls close at 7 p.m. Be sure to tune into NTTV for our primetime coverage.
A unanimous Supreme Court decision that'll affect voters tomorrow.
And the devastating impact that Texas's largest wildfire has had.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV Nightly News.
Thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm April Piedmont.
And I'm Omar Martinez. It's a big day across the country tomorrow as Texas is one of 15 states participating in primary elections. We'll be covering it from all angles as we have live coverage from the Capitol in Austin, a Call-in All-Red Watch Party, a GOP Watch Party, and a panel of UNT's political science expert. In addition, we'll be talking politics on social media. All this begins at 7 p.m. here on NTTV News. Our Facebook page, Charter 192, Frontier 46, as well as live updates on our socials at North Texas TV. There will also be bilingual coverage for our Spanish viewers.
Now, tomorrow is the official voting day, but for hundreds of thousands of people across the nation, early voting was the name of the game. Let's go out to NTTV's Melanie Garcia, who is at the gateway here on the UNT campus, where many students cast those early ballots. Melanie?
That's right, April. Here in Denton County, more than 72,000 residents casted their votes in preparation for Tuesday's primary election. However, voting participation has slowed down compared to 2020's primary election, with only 6% of voters this year compared to 11% of voters in 2020. Denton released a new interactive map making it easier for Denton County residents searching for voting locations based on their precinct. As you can see here in the Denton County, the closest location to UNT for Democratic voters is the Denton Wesley Foundation. And for Republican voters, you can attend the Denton ISD Stevens Central Administration Building. Texans will decide on their presidential candidates next week, as well as candidates for the U.S. Senate and House and state representatives. Early voting sites will be open till 7 p.m. on Friday. That's all I have on voting. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Melanie. A major Supreme Court ruling today putting Donald Trump back on the ballot in Colorado. It is a major victory for the Trump campaign, and CNN's Julia Benbrook has more on how it impacts the Republican Party.
On the eve of Super Tuesday, the Supreme Court ruled that former President Donald Trump should remain on the ballot in Colorado. The decision follows months of debate over whether the Republican frontrunner violated the insurrectionist clause included in the 14th Amendment.
It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs.
The court was unanimous on the idea that Trump could not be unilaterally removed from the state's ballot, a massive win for the former president. The decision comes as his last major primary opponent, Nikki Haley, who vowed to stay in the race at least through Super Tuesday, faces a make-or-break moment.
We do have a country to save. So this is where you get to work. We need to make sure we go out in force on Tuesday.
Haley secured her first primary win this week in Washington, D.C., but some GOP strategists say Tuesday's race could be the final contest in her 2024 run.
There's just no path forward for Nikki Haley. She's a former governor. She had foreign policy chops. She had all of the resume and the presentation that should have done well, but she didn't.
More than 1/3 of the total delegates in both the Democratic and Republican presidential primaries are up for grabs on Tuesday. Reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Julia Benbrook.
It's crazy how much the weather has changed in just the last month, don't you think?
Tell me about it, April. My immune system has been flaring up lately with the weather changing from cold and hot.
Yeah, it sounds like your allergies are acting up too. And, well, it seems like it's earlier than usual as well. So let's toss it over to Chelsea Jones for the latest updates.
Thanks, April. This morning, my allergies got the best of me. Allergy season came a lot sooner than expected. Allergies come from pollen and fear depends on plant leaves, although other illnesses like COVID, flu, and cold can trigger allergies. Symptoms of allergies include watery eyes, itchy nose, sneezing, and running nose. Ways to help ease those symptoms would be to close your windows and use air conditioner instead. Have HEPA filters, take vitamin C, D, and B. Pollen.com provides a local and national allergy map and information about allergies. Although, come to think of it, with this Texas weather changing so frequently, it could be a factor for my allergies. Let's go to our weather anchor, Cade Clyde, with a first look at our weather. Cade?
Thanks, Chelsea. Yeah, those allergies are definitely increasing, mainly because of the warmer than normal temperatures this time of year and the strong windy conditions. As we look toward our current conditions across North Texas, it's currently partly cloudy skies, temperature of 79, feeling like 80. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. As we look toward tonight, things are going to cool down to a cool 57, feeling like 56. Winds are out of the south at 8. It's going to be partly cloudy tonight as well. As we look toward tomorrow, things are going to heat back up to a mild 75, feeling like 76. Winds are now going to be out of the north at 8, and it's going to be partly cloudy skies. That's all I have for weather right now, but stay tuned as I'll be back in a few minutes with your 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Cade. I just love the Student Union April. It has all my favorite snacks. It's just a fun spot to meet up on campus.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Omar. I love listening to the music in the syndicate or just doing my homework up on the upstairs balcony and possibly also catching that really nice sunset.
Well, April, I think there's a way you can show the union your appreciation, and our live reporter, Chris Goodwin, is here to tell you how.
Thanks, Omar and April. Today is the Union Fest, an annual event for students to come together and celebrate the Student Union. It's a place that some may say is the heart of the campus. The festival has something for all students with fun events like ice skating, trivia, and even fireworks that'll be released around 9 tonight. I'm here with Wendy Denman from the Division of Student Affairs to discuss 75 years of the Student Union. So, what is the importance of this event?
It's really just to celebrate with all of our students, 75 years, well, this year 75 years, but having a university union on campus because the union's a special place for students to gather, connect, and experience on campus.
And so how did this event first get even organized?
So it's in the previous union, this is the 4th iteration of a union on campus, but in the previous union it used to be a really big cake and they would cut it up and share it with the whole campus. But as we moved into the new union that opened in January 2016, it's really evolved to an entire day and evening of activities so that both the staff and faculty at the university as well as the students can come and enjoy all the festivities.
Okay. So this is transferred from a cake ceremony to now an all-day thing of fun. So how else has this event also transformed?
Well, this year is really special because it's 75 years of having a union on campus. So this year we have brought in some of the traditional things we've always done, such as like a vendor fair and having, rather than a cake, we do cupcakes, but then also added a lot of new things. Like we're having glow activities outside. We're going to have fireworks, as you mentioned, at 9 o'clock. And we also even revealed the Rock Bottom Lounge sign that we have hung in the syndicate. We just did that today. It was donated back by an alumni from a previous union, and so it's a nice nod to the past.
And so stay with us here at NTTV and find out how you can get your groove on later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Chris. The Smokehouse Creek wildfires in the Panhandle are still burning. We have an update.
And France has enshrined the right to abortion in its constitution. We'll explain.
Hey UNT, primary elections are almost here.
Join us live at 7 p.m. on March 5th for our Your Choice 2024 primary election show.
We will have a panel of UNT's very own political science experts.
We'll also have bilingual coverage, live updates on numbers and polls, and discussions over hot-button issues that will impact this year's election.
You can catch the broadcast on Frontier 46, Charter 192, NorthTexasTelevision.com, as well as our YouTube and Facebook page, and you can see live updates on North Texas TV's Instagram page.
Here to keep you covered and informed on this year's election, we're North Texas Television.
A A much-needed break from Mother Nature could give Texas firefighters battling deadly wildfires the advantage they need, thanks to a cold front sweeping across the Panhandle region and surrounding states Monday. Laura Aguirre has more on what's become Texas' largest wildfire and the warning some cattle ranchers have for the nation's beef supply.
This is a monster fire. It's going to take days to get it put out. Numbers are going to go up.
Numbers that are already devastating for Texas. Multiple wildfires are still burning, with well over 1 million acres turned to ash. Thousands of livestock have been lost and hundreds of homes and other structures decimated.
Our ranchers and our homeowners are hurting deeply.
For many cattle that have survived so far, there's no grass to eat and no water.
We've got over 120 miles of electric lines burnt and on the ground. That means these people have no electricity. There's no water to pump for the livestock.
In Hemphill County, nearly 80% of the land has been scorched. That's in the state's panhandle, where around 28% of the nation's beef herds are raised.
This is going to hurt our beef supply going forward in the nation.
Many cows that survived the initial flames now suffer with terrible burns and other injuries.
They're going to get pneumonia, they're going to get sick, and we've already had to put some down.
Fire crews in Texas are banking on cooler temperatures in the region Monday to give them an edge over the wildfires, with Oklahoma Forestry Services saying they'll turn over the perimeter of the largest blaze, the Smokehouse Creek fire, to local departments in their state for containment. But the fire's impact could be felt nationally long after they are extinguished.
It takes years to put a cow herd together before they're productive and producing like they should be.
It's going to take maybe decades to get over this.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
France made history today by becoming the first country to guarantee in their constitution the right to have an abortion. This decision becomes a response to the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, a ruling that protected a woman's right to have an abortion in this country. All throughout Paris, people celebrated as the final verdict was announced. French President Emmanuel Macron said that a formal ceremony will be held to celebrate the ruling on Friday, which also happens to be International Women's Day. The right to an abortion was legalized in France in 1975, and this ruling marks the 25th time the French government has amended its constitution. And in the U.S., the first ever over-the-counter birth control pill has been approved and should be expected to hit shelves soon. The pill will be available for $19.99 for a 1-month supply and $49.99 for a 3-month supply. Perrigo, the company behind the pill, says that if it's taken as directed, it can be up to 98% effective in preventing a pregnancy. Interested buyers can expect to find the pill in pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens and online at opill.com and other online retailers as well. For people who may struggle with affording the pill, Perrigo says it will have a cost assistance program available. And Omar, I don't know about you, but I am loving this weather, and I really hope it stays like this for spring break.
Yes, April, the weather has honestly been very nice. So let's go out with our weather anchor, Kate Klein, who can give us an update on the full weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. The weather has been really warm as of recently, and that's definitely going to continue along with rain chances for spring break. I will have that coming up in our 7-day forecast. But as of right now, temperature across North Texas, it's currently 70s across the board. Going to highlight Dallas is at a warm 80 degrees. As we expand to the state of Texas, again, we're going to see 70s for most of Texas. But as we look toward our west, we're going to see 67 in El Paso, 62 in Amarillo, and a really warm Abilene at 80 degrees. And as we move toward our 7-day forecast here, we're going to see tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy skies, high of 75, low of 51. Continuing that into Wednesday with 74, going to be cloudy on Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to have a chance of storms being at 97% chance. We have a marginal severe weather risk. It's going to be mostly a wind risk, though. Keep that in mind. Friday, we're going to have rain showers throughout the day, giving way to partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. And then for the rest of the weekend into next week, we're going to see highs going slowly up to the 70s on Monday. And that's all for weather today. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Cade. 3 weeks ago, UNT President Neil Smostrisk announced he was stepping down from his position after almost a decade of service. NTTV's news director Mauricio Ortiz Segura sat down with him for an exclusive interview, and tonight we'll bring you the final part in the series.
When we heard the announcement, we were all kind of surprised. You know, you're kind of a big celebrity around town. I don't know if you knew, but so I guess my first question would be, why? What made you decide to finally step away from UNT after making it your home for 10 years?
Well, so let me first say, I'm not really stepping away. I'm going to go be a professor for a little while. And I really look forward to it, because what got me into this is the idea that what I did in the classroom could change someone's life. Of course, as a president, I got to do that at a much larger scale, but it's not quite as personal. I got here 10 years ago. It was a great reception. I felt so positive about the place. I looked around and I said, you know, UNT is capable of great things. If we can have stable leadership for about 10 years, we're going to accomplish a lot. And in fact, I've been lucky enough to be a president that made it 10 years. So for me, that combination of building a strong team and a stable leadership platform has driven virtually all our success. Having realized the big things, becoming Tier 1, becoming HSI, MSI, doubling and redoubling our research output, joining the American Athletic Conference, building a new Frisco landing program, being the third largest school in Texas, eclipsing Houston now, which just makes me really happy. All of those things collectively are achievements that mean we've hit the mountaintops we were looking for, and now it's time to pass the baton and let fresh vision and new leadership take us to the next heights.
Absolutely. You've definitely accomplished a lot more than many universities can say they've done in 10 years. And it's been absolutely incredible as someone who has to report on the news on the daily, get to report on everything impressive that UNT has managed to accomplish under your leadership. And I suppose a good question would be, who's next? Do you have any idea who might be next
I
to
have
fill the shoes?
no idea. That'll be our chancellor and board who make that determination. I hope it's someone who is well-versed in higher ed and is capable of negotiating what might be the most challenging times ever for higher ed. Coming out of COVID, there were learning losses. There's a loss and erosion of confidence in higher education generally. Is it worth the degree? Is higher ed affordable? There's mental health issues. There's learning loss challenges that are going to have a long-lasting impact on American higher education. There's artificial intelligence. There's fiscal challenges. There's a lot. Whoever comes in needs to be prepared to handle those, and I hope can continue supporting the caring nature of our campus and the team that we've built here.
This was the fourth and final part of our series with the UNT president. If you want to see the other three parts, you can find them in the broadcast from February 27th, 28th, and 29th on any platform we stream on.
When we come back, an international sporting event here in North Texas, and its impact goes far beyond the soccer game.
And two tech giants are collaborating to make AI smarter. Is it good or bad? We'll explain when we come back.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Arlington has hosted some world-class events the past couple of years, but none of those will come close to the World Cup. According to the Fort Worth Sports Commission, the Metroplex can expect to see 4 million visitors. I talked to the North Central Texas Council of Government to hear how they are working with the city of Arlington to prepare for the influx of people that will grace the grounds of Jerry World.
Just super excited for the World Cup to be here in Dallas and get to host some games.
The World Cup is coming to Dallas. Well, actually, it's coming to Arlington as AT&T Stadium is set to host 9 games in 2026, the most out of any host city. While everyone's focus will be on the stadium behind me come 2026, the North Central Texas Council of Governments will look to the stadium next door as it is set to host the MLB All-Star Game this summer.
So we have the All-Star Game coming. We have some soccer events as well coming this spring that aren't the World Cup, but there's some major soccer events. And so we'll be testing out some more of our transit options for those events because, again, for the World Cup, we plan on having a large transit presence.
The North Central Texas Council of Governments is an association that assists in regional planning, and they have been working with the city of Arlington in preparation for the big events coming up. One of their main focus is public transportation, or in this case, lack thereof.
In terms of transportation projects, we are doing some on the transit side related to the TRE trains, replacing some of the trains, upgrading some of the stations, looking at what technology we can put in place to help accommodate transit users as well as folks that use those technology companies like Uber and Lyft and how we engage them in the conversation.
Other areas of focus are cleanup efforts along I-30 and monitoring the construction of regional roadways. The big games may be 2 years away, but the preparation is right around the curb. Edgar and the Council of Governments advises residents to prepare for the increase in traffic during the duration of the tournament. She also recommends to avoid the area around the stadium and to be aware of the day and times of the matches.
Omar, I was scrolling on TikTok earlier and I realized I have over like 400 drafts.
That is rookie numbers because I have like 700. I see a sound and I record a video on the spot.
Well, Omar, make sure you are careful with that because I've noticed that the ones that you post, maybe AI has some sort of access to this type of social media data.
Well, I've started to hear that too, and our segment anchor Faith Webster has more on that development. Faith?
That's right, guys. What we share online has always been something we need to think about closely. As 2 tech giants merge information to develop AI minds, what does this mean for our future? A skyrocket or setback? $1 million deal made between Reddit and Google. AI bot Gemini will now gain information from Reddit posts to further develop an understanding of human creativity and how the human mind works freely. This deal can lead to Google having better search results, AI responses, and understanding more data and prompts. Media arts major Jackson Swindle comments,
AI will ever really be able to replicate true creativity, so just giving it a large base to learn from, such as anything that's on Reddit, is really just going to benefit its usage as a tool.
Reddit is known for its data destruction policy. When a post is deleted for any reason, it is traced on other platforms and deleted from the entire web, becoming untraceable. Google says that included in this contract, they've agreed to abide by this policy. However, many are saying once entered into Gemini, the data will forever be stored. As an artist, Colin Hoffman discusses the honesty of AI bot Gemini.
I just don't like how it will take already existing material and then just reuse it. And I don't like people trying to pass off AI art as their own because it is lazy, it is sloppy, and to a form it can be considered some sort of plagiarism.
Google will become stronger with its searches, but lines have blurred between public, professional, and private posts online. We are thankful for the development of tech and how it brings us together. This deal could be the biggest connector between humans and AI bots. Thank you all, and back to the desk.
Thank you, Faith. Maybe we'll see some AI in sports, and I bring that up because I think the Dallas Mavericks have a loose connection.
Yeah, I agree. They just haven't been the same since their streak was broken.
Well, let's take it to our sports anchor, Ramiro Cuellar, to see if they can get another streak going. Ramiro?
You're right, Omar, April. Unfortunately, the Mavs have not looked the same in the past couple of games. I have all the action from last night's game and more after the break. The UNT men's basketball squad notched their second consecutive victory with an 84-69 win over East Carolina at the Super Pete. Senior Reuben Jones led the charge with 18 points and 6 assists. Jones, overcoming a hamstring injury, has averaged 17 points and 6 assists in the last 2 games. 5 Mean Green players hit double figures, with Jason Edwards and John Buggs III combining for 33 points. Forward Robert Allen notched a season-high 16 points, and CJ Nolan extended his streak of his double-figure scoring to 5 games. Next up, North Texas faces Florida Atlantic on Wednesday at the Super Pit. The 2024 American Championship looms after just 2 remaining regular season games. Now, in a disappointing turn of events for the Dallas Mavericks, they fell short against the Philadelphia 76ers, losing 120-116 at home on Sunday. Despite a promising 11-0 lead early on, the Mavericks failed to capitalize on the absence of reigning MVP Joel Embiid. Luka Doncic struggled early on, scoring only 2 points in the first quarter, but a hot second quarter kept Dallas within 5 points at halftime. The third quarter proved to be disastrous for the Mavericks, as the 76ers, led by Tobias Harris and Kelly O'Byrne, outscored them 34-25, establishing a double-digit lead. Although Dallas rallied late in the fourth, coming within 5 points, Harris' clutch three-pointer sealed the victory for Philadelphia. The Mavs will try to turn things around against the Pacers tomorrow night. In a thrilling clash on Saturday night, Josef Martinez stole the spotlight with a crucial breakaway goal in the 60th minute, securing a 2-1 victory for Montreal over FC Dallas. The match witnessed the debut of Dallas newcomer Peter Musa, who in the first half showcased his skills with a right-footed shot to level the score after Jules Anthony Ville-Saint had initially put Montreal ahead 1-0 in the 20th minute. But it was Martinez's performances that proved to be the game changer. In the 60th minute, the striker outpaced Dallas goalkeeper Martin Paez, finding the back of the net to give Montreal a 2-1 lead. This goal turned out to be the sole scoring moment in the second half, sealing the fate of the match. FC Dallas will try to get back on winning ways when they face off against the New York Red Bulls next Saturday, March 9th. And well, that's all I have for sports. Now back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Ramiro. April, have you ever gone to a silent disco party?
Ooh, I have not, but it's been on my bucket list for the longest time.
Well, you're in luck because Chris Goodwin is out there live at the Union. So let's check back in with him at the Union Fest. Hey Chris, hope it's not too loud out there.
Yeah, guys, it may be a silent disco, but it's anything but silent. I am definitely seeing some murder on that dance floor. I'm here at the Emerald Ballroom in the Union, where students are busting some moves at the silent disco. This is just one of the events we have held for the Union Fest, where afterwards you can go outside and catch the fireworks show around 9 and also some glow light activities. Now, if you excuse me, I think they're playing my song. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, there's no music playing, but you know what? We can have a silent disco around.
Silent disco party.
Thanks for watching NTTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the Super Tuesday show here on North Texas Television.